I would check Twitter, but it's dead according to David.
Look it up. Google Twitter right now. It's gonna die.
Boys are back. Boys are back in town. We welcome you to a new episode of TWI. I'm your host, Dyke. We got an unreal crew. We got special guests today. We got Stevie NoW0nder. He's third in line. But we'll start at the bottom. We got Big Bet Barter on the bottom, always making big bets. Jared above him. Stevie above him. Iowa's #1 representative for the gambling community. And then we got David Big D3 Youngs above him. And then Eric P on the top. We got a special matchup, feature match of the week. We got Stefanos Tsitsipas and Andrey Rublev. How the boys doing this week, though? Bart, how's everything going out in New York City?
It's going well. I missed it last week on the big day, but I met Serena Williams at the gym. That was pretty epic. I guess I'll tell the story now. I walked into the gym in Hudson Yards. I had my headphones on, listening to like Suicide Boys or some music about death and murder. And I just catch out of the corner of my eye someone that like looked like Serena, but I didn't double take. I was like, probably not.
My name's
and
Jeff.
Sit down on a bike, and like 5 minutes later, sure as shit, she just walks by me and she stops like right in front of me. So I take out a headphone. I'm like, I gotta say something.
What is your debt to income ratio, Serena? Wait, don't tell me. I can tell it's so good based off your aggressive sales growth over the last quarter. My name is Bart and I like adventure. Be my friend, Serena. Por favor.
She's like, I'm not a huge fan of Serena, but like grew up watching her, and like, I mean, she's awesome. And I knew I had to say something unique if I wanted like a response, or if I didn't want to just annoy her. And I work in venture capital, and I'm really interested in the space. And I knew she raised a fund last year, so I just said like, "Hey, Serena, congrats on closing your fund." And she looked at me and gave me like a big smile, and I shook her hand, and then she walked away.
I am elated, fellas. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Hashtag blessed.
But
That's pretty sick.
yeah,
Badass.
she had a hat on. She had like a black eye or something. I don't know what that was about, but she did not look good. Hopefully she doesn't watch this.
How long were you elated? Like, how long did you feel that high for?
Shut up.
I'm still feeling it.
Yeah, I'm fully torqued right now.
Torque. Lewis, Nevada State Penitentiary.
And we'll shift it over to Stevie NoW0nder. So, Stevie, I have to ask, you're the #1 representative for all of Iowa, for all of the Iowa gambling community. How does that make you feel?
Well, self-proclaimed. I suppose we can start there, but I don't know how much competition I really have. No one's really only. I guess one guy did DM me after the whole Dave thing went down. He kind of wanted to come for the title, but we shut that down quick.
Yeah, explain that whole situation too. That was an interesting sequence of events.
That was wild.
That must have made you feel pretty good. That whole situation that was Nori, right?
Yeah. Well, so speaking of fully torqued, I think I'm still torqued from that whole debacle. But yeah, so Dave bet on Nori in the U.S. Open because I think he's a big stoolie, Nori, and so Dave was actually going to go watch to the semis, I believe he said. And so he bet on Nori, and he was tweeting through it because Nori was getting the shit kicked out of him. And so I just commented, take Tiafoe plus 410 and thank me later. And then the match went on. Tiafoe, did what he did. I think he won in 4 sets against Nadal, kind of steamrolled him. And I had no idea Dave actually took the bet. And then as soon as the match was over, my phone just went absolutely bananas. In the middle of a fantasy draft, no less, and that team is in shambles, of course. But Dave DM'd me. He's like, "Hey man, like I owe you something. Like I won 8 bet," and I can say that because he did end up saying it on the Dave Portnoy show. Otherwise, I'm not throwing info out there. I shouldn't, but yeah, he's like, "I owe you something," and I was like, a job will do. That's fine. And he gave $1,000 free bet, which I still need to claim. So Dave, if you see this, we'll find something. But yeah, it was nuts. And then he was actually coming to Iowa that weekend for the Iowa State game for the Barstool College.
Cyhawk.
Yeah, Cyhawk, baby. And so I actually got to meet him down there at the tailgate, which was pretty cool. So yeah, wild, like probably 4 or 5 day span.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I listen to the show, the Dave Portnoy show every week. Obviously they stopped doing it,
Yep.
probably like 2-3 weeks ago. But I remember listening to it the day after. They normally post it in the morning, so I was listening it to the day after, and I heard tennis gambling, and made my ears perk up. I'm like, what the heck? Like, Portnoy never talks about tennis.
Yeah.
So immediately I go on Twitter after. I'm like, who? Like, I was trying to figure out who left him a comment. You did that. I follow you immediately, and then you went on an absolute tear. I think you won every bet that I saw on like the Twitter feed for 2 weeks. It was insane.
Yeah. After that thing went down, it could not have been a better time for me to just hear. And yeah, it worked out really well. I gained probably like double the followers, which was pretty cool. But it's all for naught because Twitter's dead now. So
See, I'm not the only one saying it.
Too bad.
yeah, it sounds like it's on the brink, but we need it. We need it to stay alive. So everybody, T's and P's tonight. It's on life support.
It's all right. Truth Social will save the world.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll see you guys there.
you'll see Eric there. You won't see the rest of us.
Yeah, no. But yeah, you can't get those guys to talk tennis for nothing. Even on like PMT, like they kind of, they'll side.
Like grunt.
It's more just like poking fun at. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I was talking tennis, but there's no hate in it, and eventually they'll hopefully hop on board.
There's like a level of knowledge that you have to know to talk tennis, and none of those guys have it.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't pay any attention to it, you just don't really like. I really didn't give a shit about tennis until probably like 2 years ago. I was just like up late one night. They just passed sports betting in Iowa, and I was just like, had some money in my account. I was burning a hole and saw Schwartzman was playing. Somebody bet my whole account on him. As I hit place bet, I think he got broke and the odds tripled. But he did win the match, and after that, I was hooked. I was like, "Holy shit, that was intense."
They'll start caring about tennis as soon as we get pre-op Halep and Anna Kournikova playing dubs together.
All right, yeah. I mean, that's something I'll watch.
So Stevie, you're a Barstool guy, and we're talking. Pardon my take. $1 million question. In a singles match, who wins against each other? Big Cat or PFT? Who's got the edge?
I'm gonna say Team Big Cat.
You know nothing.
He's
I
got
don't know.
that.
They just played. They talked about playing at. I think. Wait, Big Cat has a tennis court at like his vacation house, if I remember right from one of the episodes. So he's got to at least been playing a little bit more than.
Yeah, I mean, I see Big Cat as like a Nicholas Almagro figure. Not exactly the most athletic out there, but a big menacing presence. He's going to attack the net, get some power on that serve.
100%. I mean, you see him at the net. What kind of passing shot you getting by that guy?
I mean, yeah, it's the Iron Curtain up there.
Yeah, 100%. I would definitely pay to watch that though, if we're being honest.
Oh, I think we all would. Where the fuck is Matt? Like, he's too big of a bitch anyways. Well, Matt.
Yeah. Matt was too scared to show up to confront Sibo. Sibo's lurking in the shadows. Sibo, what do you have to think about this whole situation with Matt and this beef here?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me on. I'm so happy I finally can make an appearance and let the tennis community know just how aggravated I am seeing just even this graph right in front of me here. I am just looking at it makes my blood boil. I'm so, first of all, I want to extend an apology to all of you. I feel bad that you have to put up with this, but at the same time, you guys are just basically earning money for free on here. So like, hats off to you guys. You guys have really figured out a working model here. But I respect Matt as a person. I've interacted with him like he said last summer. It's been great. I've nothing bad to say about the guy. I just think he's not very good at what he claims to be very good at. And I think it's an appropriate way to call him out. I don't think he can just skate on by in life. Life isn't easy. You got to deal with consequences. And all your actions have consequences, and here's one of them.
I 100% agree. So if you were to give Matt a suspension based off of, so it was last week that you were calling out for a suspension of some sort of Matt, and this was when he was at $320. Now he's negative $350. So just went even more downhill. So what would be that suspension if you were given one to him?
Well, if you ask me that right now, I think if you're down 350, for me that's half a season. For me at minimum that's half a season. Like just -3. Like what are you doing? Like I respect you gotta if when you're behind you gotta swing big to try and catch back up. I understand all that, but like I said earlier. Sometimes when you're playing like a guy who's like 2 points above you in UTR, at what point do you just try and play for the competitive loss? You try and get that 7-game threshold so that it doesn't hurt as bad. You don't want to lose like 0-0 to like a 12-4 when you're an 11-1. You want to try and lose like 4-4. So like, for me right now, it's half a season. If we see a below 400. For me, it's got to be a year. I mean, it's just inexcusable. It's just inexcusable for me.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious.
Bart, how do you think about this whole situation with Mateo and Sibo here?
I love that he's not getting a chance to respond to this. What a dipshit for not showing up.
Hey, he could have been here. But he's probably somewhere in Owatonna, just like, probably lost on a back road, who knows?
Sibo, I was checking Instagram. The streets were talking. They were saying that you're so confident you could beat Matt one-on-one that you'd let him start up 30 love in every game and still beat him, right? What do you got to say about that situation?
So I was thinking a lot about, ways that I could appropriately roast Matt. And, this summer he was quite clear that he understands that, while he may coach tennis, that doesn't mean that he has a God-given ability. So I know that if I offered him a set straight up, he would openly say to me, "Bro, I'm never gonna beat you." Whatever kind of handicap he wants, I am all for. In fact, he just even sent out a post on Instagram or a comment. I think he said a straight up set, but if he wins 3 games, I have to do something. I don't know what it is, but I will double down. I will say, we can play even college rules. So no ad, and we play Let's to make it as competitive as possible. And if he wins 1 single game, I will follow through on this on his terms. I will double down on this, because if I'm looking at a man who is down $350, I mean, my confidence is just at an all-time high right now. Like how could it not be? How could it not be,
Yeah,
right. So this, I can send it into Twitter's dudes down bad.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, send it while you can.
I was gonna say, you got to set the odds on this now. What are the odds that Matt gets 1 game off of Sibo? What are we at? Plus,
I'd say the odds are 100% that he tries to drop an underhand serve like he did.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yep,
for sure.
And I would just like to point out to any lonely NCAA official who might just be tuning in on this fine evening, I do not gamble. I am not a gambler in any form. I respect the NCAA rules. I am just making a guest appearance. Like, you can confirm, I have never placed a wager with any of you. I just want to make that clear so that I'm not getting into any legal trouble here. Gotta protect my back as always.
100%. So
stick around for horse betting though.
Yeah.
Sibo, I've got a question. As I am the podcast University of Wisconsin Badgers correspondent.
Yes.
Have you participated in the ESFU chant at Camp Randall Stadium yet in your time in Madison? Are you familiar with
I think you'll have to refer that question to my legal team. I don't want to incriminate myself.
Absolutely, that was a trick question. Well played.
Yeah. I have a very strong legal team here at the University of Wisconsin, and they advise me well.
They make them the best in Madison. Way better than in the Twin Cities.
Before we get into our feature match of the week, let's go over the rules of betting. The boys will put $10, $20, or $30 on the bet of their choice. All types of bets welcome, and the winner at the end of the year wins the '69 Chevy. Let's get into the bets.
Let's hop into our feature match of the week. We got Stefanos Tsitsipas and Andrey Rublev. This is going to be an electric barn burner. The winner of this match will go to the semifinals of the ATP finals here in Turin. So, Eric, we'll start it out with you. Starting off first, betting micro bets all season long. What's your bet this week?
That's right. And in honor of our last week, we're gonna do something a little different. I think I'm a big Rublev fan. I am a big anti-Tsitsipas fan, and so as a result, I think Rublev's gonna crush the ball for at least one of Tsitsipas's service games and get one break. I'm gonna go exact set score in set number one, $10. Rublev 6-4.
All right. Bold strategy. Very bold strategy. All right, David, Big D3 Youngs, what's your bet?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, fellas. I don't know a lot about betting. But I do know that Tsitsipas is an absolute jackass. But tennis don't care about your feelings. I got to go with Tsitsipas here. He's going to win in straights. We're taking the under on games. It's going to be 6-2, 6-4. And let's just put $30 on it. I'm 66 in the hole. There's no way in hell that I'm going to finish last because Mateo's got that lockdown. So let's just put $30 on it. You know what? Fourth place. A lot of good things in the world that are fourth. TCU, the number 4 in the country for college football right now. Brett Favre, well, I guess that's probably not great this day and age, but he's number 4. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
All right. Next in the betting lineup, we got Stevie NoW0nder, an absolute fire better. Stevie, what's your bet for the week?
That's a lot of pressure right there. This is a tough match. I'm really excited for it, to be honest. I'm maybe just hoping that it really goes 3 sets. So I think that's what I'm going to bet here. Both of them coming off like very different matches. Rublev, got the shit kicked out of him by Djokovic, and then Tsitsipas out of like a really emotional win against his biggest rival, Medvedev. I think Tsitsipas carries that momentum over. I hope it's not straight sets because I'm hoping to get a live number, but I'm going to take a shot at Tsitsipas 2-1. I think it's plus 270.
All right, yeah. So if you got Tsitsipas 2-1, I got plus 285 here. So must have went up. How much money you want to put on that one?
Let's go 20.
All right. You got 20 to win 57 here. Jared, next in the betting lineup is you. You're super close to Carter and myself, only $3 away from winning the Chevy at the Levy.
Right.
What's your bet for the week?
Well, of the contenders, I've got the disadvantage of going first. I'm keeping Eric out of the contender conversation, by the way. He's a pre-tender. So I'm thinking I want to take something that could project me up into the first place spot without, like if you guys both miss big, I could try to sneak in the back door, right, by just not losing that much money too. So I'm trying to play this a little bit strategic or a little bit smart here, see what happens. So I'm going to go to set 1. I'm going to shift the total games up to 10.5 and take the over on that. I think it's plus 180 is what I'm looking at. Right. And so just to give me that first set, that chance, I think they're going to come out, hold serve, probably one break, but I don't know. I think even if there's a couple of breaks there, I think it's close enough to get over 10.5 games in that first set. So I'm going to put $20 down at plus 180.
All right. $20 plus 180. Big bet barter. Last but not least in the betting lineup, it's you. What's your bet for the week?
All right. A semi-honorable strategy, Jared, but I'm going to stay true to the big bet barter brand and throw $30 on a bet here. I like the odds for Rublev, a little bit more favorable in the case of winning there. Him and Tsitsipas had a lot of really close matches in the past, especially on hard courts, a lot of 3-setters. And I think they're even head-to-head on hard courts overall. But I think Rublev's going to get over the hump. He's going to get in a final. So I'm taking Rublev, money line, $30. Give me the 69 Chevy. That's my bet.
Last but not least is myself. It's been the first time in a long time since I've been number one. So I'm gonna do something a little bit risky. I'm gonna do lights out. I'm pretty confident in myself in this one. I think Rublev is going to win this match, but I'm gonna be a little bit riskier in the first set. I'm gonna say he's gonna win the first set 6-3. I'm gonna put $10 on it, but the odds are just crazy. I'm pretty sure it's 10 to win 200. Boys, I'm running away with this. No doubt in my mind. So, yeah, that'll conclude our betting for the week.